Well, Luka Doncic may be 26 years young today, but it's the 40-year-old LeBron James on the second night of a back-to-back that's leading all scorers. 17 points for James in the first half here, Chiney. And as you look at the box score, as you were pointing out, it's just LeBron that doesn't have a negative plus-minus.
It is wild. 7 for 10 from the field, an efficient night so far, but more importantly, it's the 5 rebounds. Look at the shot chart. I mean, this guy just, it blows my mind how effective he has been. Like you said, coming off of a back-to-back. But of course, like to me, the big question is how will they go up against Zubac? Zubac's 5 for 5 from the field, 10 rebounds, but 10 points. But still, they're even on the rebounds. The Lakers are answering the call to stay up defensively, and LeBron James is leading the way.
And look, Braun probably would have set out tonight if Stephen A. wouldn't have pissed him off earlier. But that's another story. Here's the thing, right? They're sticking to their guns defensively. Since January 15th, they've been the best defensive team. That recipe is great for what J.J. Redick has designed. They allow teams to shoot threes because they believe they can't make threes. Now, you look at the game last night. They played the help me out here for a second.
Oh, the Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves. Timberwolves shot 12 for 41. Tonight, the Clippers are 6 for 19. And they're going to continue to let you shoot threes because they don't believe that you can make them. And right now, it's actually working out for the Lakers defensively.
Well, the Clippers are shooting about 31% from three-point range. That's certainly, they got to do better than that in order to beat the Lakers. Marveling at LeBron James from the standpoint that he's the oldest dude on the court. He's in the best shape. I don't know why there are not more thieves in the NBA stealing his habits, finding out what his nutrition plan is, how his workout regimen is. I don't understand why. You know what? Imitate it, damn it. Duplicate it. Do what you got to do because he looks like the best player on the floor. But here's what I love. I'm looking at the Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm looking at the Jackson Hayes and other guys. I'm looking at all three. Look at the way J.J. Redick has them playing defense. It's very impressive. Not to mention this. Luka is out there trying to defend. I'm like, go ahead, Luka.
Yeah, you saw the steal.
This is what I'm saying. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. It's the J.J. Redick effect. It's the LeBron James effect.
It is absolutely the J.J. Redick effect. You know what he's making them do defensively? He's pointing and saying, hey, he with us. He with us. It's not that they're missing shots. These are by design. They're picking the players that are the worst shooters, and guess what? They're doing great.
Janae, Kendrick, Malika, I do believe I was just complimentary. Not hating at all, huh? Not hating at all.
And yet it is still a 5-point game. Let's take a look at tonight's electric moment brought to you by Hyundai. Today, this is the moment in the Celtics-Cavs game.
Changed everything. Look at how he stares at his bench. He said, come on, guys, let's go. Darius Garland played aggressive. Evan Mobley had a fourth quarter. This was the play that really changed everything for them.
Against an elite defense.
And how about Cleveland versus Boston? Cleveland was down by as many as 22 in this game, folks. Here in the third, Donovan Mitchell to his 41 points as the Cavaliers win this one 123 to 116. I mean, this is stuff that you want to see if you're a Cavs fan, being able to come back from such a deficit and lead your team to victory on the road. This time the lefty, Mitchell, could not be stopped in the second half. Yeah, that look says it all. And with that, we bring in CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. And John, at one point I'm thinking, okay, the Cavaliers, they're going to come back because it's an NBA game and these 20-point leads, they're not safe. But I didn't expect them to beat the Celtics. So what did it say to you about their resolve to go down from 22 and then storm back in that second half to take the victory from the Celtics?
Yeah, great game, great win. There are caveats, right? We have to say that no Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics, no Drew Holiday. But exactly what you said, Chris, for them to come back when they started out the game down 25-3, and you've got Jason Tatum mouthing "get out of here," and I'm putting that's the PG version of what he actually said. And then for the Cavs to stick with it, Chris, they were still down 17 in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter rolls around, and here comes Donovan Mitchell. Huge fourth quarter, goes for 40 points. He scored 30 points in all 4 of the games against Boston this season, Chris, and that's really what Cavaliers fans, NBA fans in general wanted to see from Donovan Mitchell in these big games against the defending champions. Is Donovan Mitchell going to give you his best effort? He absolutely has all season long against the Celtics, and especially tonight. And the other one was Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley got off to a little bit of a slow start. Yeah, Jason Tatum going right at him, Jaylen Brown going right at him, but he recovered. He had a huge fourth quarter. This guy, now that Wemby's out, Chris, might be the defensive player of the year. And if he doesn't finish first, he's He's going to finish second to Jaren Jackson Jr. So either way, first team all defense. He's been fantastic. That was a statement win for the Cavs. They have the best record in the NBA. At some point, the critics and the skeptics have to look at this thing and believe their lion eyes. They are a very good basketball team.
Yeah, Cleveland outscored Boston 59-42 in that second half. And to your point, like as we look ahead to the postseason, do you feel, I know, as you mentioned, they had no KP, no Drew Holiday, but do you feel like the Cavaliers perhaps figured something out here against Boston, the way they started, but then the way they closed?
Yeah, I mean, that's really just it, right? You got to stick with it against the Celtics. To be the champs, you got to beat the champs. It's the old Ric Flair thing. You got to keep going at these guys. And again, you know, it certainly would help the Celtics case if they had two of their starting 5 players, 2 of their 6 best players out there. They're a much better team, obviously, with Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday out there defensively. But hey, that's not the Cavaliers' problem. The Cavs' problem is get that W. Be the best team in the Eastern Conference. Get the 1 seed. Then when you get into the playoffs, I think these two teams are going to face each other. And you know that you can beat the Celtics. You've done it. And that goes a long way when the postseason comes around.
Cavaliers with their largest comeback win on the road since 2017. Meanwhile, the Nuggets, they were in a dogfight with the Pistons in the first half, up just 5 points, but they outscored Detroit 39-24 in the third, on way to a 134-119 win. And Jamal Murray, I mean, he roasted the Pistons for 31 points, and the Joker, he just dropped a casual 23-point triple-double. Just another day in the office for Nikola. But when you look at the Pistons, right, because they did have an 8-game winning streak. They did beat the Boston Celtics, right? Do you feel like, or let me ask this, how much noise do you think the Pistons could make in the Eastern Conference when you look at how they played so far?
Yeah, they're already making noise, Chris, right? I mean, like, look, I wouldn't beat them up too much for getting pushed around by Nikola Jokic and Nikola Jokic dropping a casual triple-double. Chris, this guy is on pace to average a triple-double for the season with 50-40-80 splits, 50% shooting from the field, 40% shooting from 3, and 80% shooting from the line. It's never been done. There's nobody who can stop this guy. So we put that to the side. The Pistons are having an excellent season. They are well ahead of the curve. They are in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. They've won 33 games already this season, Chris. It's still February, technically. The last 2 seasons combined, they had only won 31 games. So that's house money, right? On top of that, Cade Cunningham, how good is he? Absolutely legit. Made his first All-Star team this season. Chris, he could also, because of the injuries to various superstars around the league, not making the 65-game threshold, he has a very good chance to make his first All-NBA team. So yes, how much noise could they make? Look, if they end up in a 3-6 matchup with the Knicks, I'm going to have the Knicks favored in that, but I don't think the Knicks want any part of that. And what happens if, and they're real close to the 4-5, right? What happens if they get into the 4-5 and they play either the Pacers or the Bucks? I don't think the Pacers or the Bucks want any part of that either. So whatever happens in the postseason, the Pistons have had already an excellent season. It's been a win for them.
Yeah, Detroit has literally nothing to lose because a lot of people did not expect to see this from them when the year began. Now, the Sixers, they shut down their superstar center. I'm sorry, man. Joel Embiid for the rest of the season due to ongoing issues in his left knee. Embiid's really struggled, as you know, to stay on the court this year. Just 19 games after playing 39 last year because of a torn meniscus. So how do you process all this news from the Sixers and really how long it took for Embiid to get shut down?
Yeah, I mean, you got to laugh to keep from crying if you're the Sixers. It just never works out for these guys. It hasn't worked out for Joel Embiid. He, as you mentioned, only played 19 games this season, only played 39 last season, Chris. And what's really staggering is all of this that's been swirling around Embiid and people waiting for him, like me, to be shut down and wondering why the Sixers have waited as long as they did. We're still only about a year removed from Joel Embiid scoring a point a minute and dropping 70 on the Spurs and looking like he could be an MVP candidate and also playing in the Olympics. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, I wonder how many more games he has left in his career. The wheels really came off this thing. But yeah, I thought they should have shut him down way sooner than this, because even with Embiid out there and he hasn't looked like himself, they haven't been a good team, Chris. They're 20-38. I know that everybody, they came into tonight just 2.5 games back of the Bulls for 10th place. Forget about that. They're looking the other way now. They came into tonight 2.5 games up on the Raptors for the 5th worst record. And the reason why that's significant is at present, the Sixers have the 6th worst record in the NBA. That gives them a 46% chance to keep the pick that's top 6 protected and owed to Oklahoma City. So less than a coin flip. They don't want that, right? They want to drop down to 5th. If they drop down to 5th, all of a sudden the odds increase to 64%. So you got a 2 in 3 shot of holding on to a pick. In a year that's been really brutal, that would be like a small glimmer of hope for the Sixers.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard times for the Philadelphia 76ers. Perhaps, though, there'll be brighter days coming up in the next few years. Now, John Gonzalez, we always